So last week I covered the best GTA Online crews of all time in terms of PvP, and in this week we're going to be covering the top 10 worst crews in PvP. Similar to the first week, we're going to be following guidelines. The guidelines for this video is going to be how bad were the players, how often did they fail, what was their success rate, and how often was it to see them uploaded or lose on YouTube or live streams. I should also specify that I know that this video is going to get a lot of people triggered and a lot of people in their feelings. And if any crew in this list feels some type of way, you can play us any day of the week. We will play you if you think that this list is incorrect or you think that your crew shouldn't be here. Because I can say with 100% confidence that I will beat any crew on this list with my members or alone. But since it's a crew list, if you want to go against us because you feel some type of way, then just message me. That's all you have to do. This is my opinion on the top 10 worst crews. Let's go. Now, at number 10, we have Sin Execution, aka Sinex, probably the worst beach crew of all time. Now, this crew didn't really have any good players like that, besides maybe like two. And those two players were not enough to carry this crew's downfall. The crew suffered from mismanagement as well as bad players. Even though they are the worst beach crew of all time, I still think that they would beat every single other crew on this list, which is why I have them at number 10. Also, I do have to say that although this is one of the worst GTA crews of all time, this crew specifically, I'm going to have more respect for than most of the crews in this list because they're not scared to play anybody. I think the real reason why I think this is a top 10 crew is that exact reason, actually. I think it's amazing when crews are willing to play you no matter what. These guys have been in tournaments, they've been in CVCs, they are not scared to play anyone. The problem is that they should avoid playing everyone because they end up going against crews in areas that they don't have business being in, and they lose, and they lose, and they lose, and they lose. The reason why I would give this crew respect, although it is a not very so good crew, is because I've never seen them duck. I've never seen them avoid a CVC. I've never seen them scared to play anybody. They have willingly played every single crew that has ever been willing to play them. And they even play in areas that they don't even play. This is mainly a beach crew, but I've seen them do CVCs in run and gun. I've seen them do CVCs in base. I've seen them participate in tournaments in areas that they don't play. Do they ever win? Not really. Their best players usually use freeze lag or X lag or some kind of cheat. Their crew leader used to boot people offline, and he lost to a 13-year-old kid 50-3, which I've never heard a worse ass beating in GTA in my entire life. But to be fair, the kid that he lost to was probably the best sniper in GTA of all time. And most of the people that have joined this crew are just absolute diaper booty. The crew is no longer active. The leader ended up stopping the support for the crew and made a new crew called Last. Last is not on the list. I thought Sinex should be here because the crew was just an absolute shambles. It was terribly mismanaged. It had horrible players. They were known for lagging, booting people offline, and losing pretty much every CVC and tournament. But they were known for never being scared to play people. But they were also known for paying other crews to get clips for them to use in montages. Yes, they would pay other crews real money to play for them, record clips, and then put it on their channel and say it's them. I don't really have respect for this crew. I'm just saying that out of the top 10 worst crews, this is the crew that I respect the most, as they're not scared to play people, even though they're walking into every CVC and tournament knowing damn well they're going to lose. I don't think these guys are that bad compared to everybody else. I do think that their members are absolute dog shit, but I think that the way that they play and the fact that they're not scared to play people puts them at number 10, and I'm not going to put them higher. When the only thing that your crew is recognized for is losing to DEVX over and over and over again, and you never winning, and then you want everyone to take you seriously while you're getting made fun of and bullied and destroyed on live streams, and you're getting posted in videos just getting your ass whooped at base, that's a really bad thing. On number 9, we have Endful Execution, aka EndX, and this crew is absolute doo-doo water. They are straight fucking booty flakes. I don't understand how you get destroyed by DEVX, first of all crews, DEVX, because they are not a good crew at all. They're hardly a crew to begin with. And you proceed to get destroyed by them over and over and over and over. You know the true definition of insanity? When you repeat the same thing over and over, hoping something will change. How many more ass whoopings do you guys need by Arson and DEVX before you finally realize, okay, this crew's not working out anymore. Maybe we should quit. Maybe we should go do something else. It seems like no one in this crew ever got that to ring in their head. And to this day, they're still trying to be this top base crew that no one can take serious. I've never heard of them winning any tournaments. I've never even heard of them in any CVCs besides the ones that they've lost against DEVX. Their montages are piss poor. Nobody knows anything about the crew besides the fact that they lose. They literally have a reputation for losing at base. That is it. They are not known for anything else in the community. They had to be here. Shoot him up, gang. Hit him up, gang. Got caught as a pedo, so you gave it up, gang. Next up, we have Shot, aka LS Deadshot Shooters, and Jesus Christ. I should have put these guys at number 10 because although they are one of the worst crews in the game, no one can lie that these guys were unbelievably entertaining. First off, let's talk about their crew leader who tried 1v1ing players in areas that don't even exist in the game, such as base ARs. Then their entire crew proceeds to get absolutely destroyed by one player, Sinkable, if you guys don't know. Then your crew leader claims that he's the best AR shooter on the game, then 1v1s me for a video and gets absolutely dragged in an area that I have never played in my entire life. Before we did the 1v1, I wasn't even in America. I was on vacation for 2 weeks. The first day I came home, I told him on Kick, yes, Kick, it was that far long ago. I told him on Kick, yo, I'm home, let's do it. I got on the game. Never played base ARs a day in my life. Didn't play GTA over 2 weeks before coming home and still beat the dog shit out of him in an area I have never touched. Let's also touch on their members. They've had 2 decent players in however many years they've been around. They have Evil Sins and they had Diversity. Diversity pieced the fuck out and got out of there as quickly as possible, as that crew is an absolute dumpster fire. And Evil Sins is still trying to represent it when no one cares about Shot anymore. Their crew channel is inactive. Their leader is inactive. He's over here preying on rocks and trees and licking dirt and shit. If you guys didn't know, the crew leader gave up on the crew because he got exposed for something we're not going to talk about in this video. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Replay the intro to their crew and you might catch it. But he became like this wildlife activist, hippie, spiritual guy now. And everyone is like, dude, when are you going to come back to GTA and take care of your crew? You got a whole bunch of members waiting for you. Now let's touch on their CVCs and their tournaments and their accomplishments. So first off, their CVCs were absolutely terrible. They would only play you in 15v15, which who the hell is going to do that logically, right? Most top crews in this game do 3v3, 2v2, 5v5, 6v6. They will only play you if it's a 15v15. Now I want you guys to really think about this for a second. A 15v15 on PlayStation, where the frame rate literally scrapes to the bottom of the barrel that PlayStation and all consoles have to offer. These guys' CVCs, if you watch Shoot 'em Ups videos or you watch any of the crew members' videos, their CVCs are running at like 9 frames per second. And they're like, yeah, this shit is lit, bruh. No, it's not, bruh. It's not even running at the full performance of the hardware because you have so many goddamn people at this base. Then you have Shoot 'em Up, who still dresses like it's 2016. These ugly ass joggers that they wear, these goofy ass Letterman green jackets that they wear. They think they look so cool. They don't. They look like tryhard High School Musical. They look lame as shit. Who the hell decided for green to be your crew color? You look like a Sprite bottle. And let's not ignore the fact that you were recruiting players in run and gun area, beach area, city area, dogfighting area, and then kicked all of them out after you realized, oh, you know, I don't really feel like playing all those areas in CVCs because I'm dog shit at them. So I'm just going to stick to base and I'm only going to invite base players. You wasted so many people's time building this crew to kick them all out because you had a second thought when you realized that your crew is not going to be a versatile crew. The problem with this crew is that the crew leader was way too out of touch with how GTA was at the time that this crew was around. He played like it was in 2016, 2014 GTA Online, where everybody else was playing like it's 2020. Which it was. He had an extremely outdated sensitivity, extremely outdated settings, extremely outdated playstyle, and he played and made up areas and rules that nobody ever followed. The one thing I can give them is that they did want to see GTA thrive. I will give them respect for that. They wanted GTA to do better, and I appreciate that they tried to keep the old school thing going, and they wanted these big CBCs of 15v15 players, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you want to do a 15v15, the only way that's going to happen is doing something like a run and gun or playing on PlayStation 5 or PC. These guys wanted 15v15 and they wouldn't take no for an answer. If you had a crew and you wanted to go against them, if you could not pull 15 players out of your ass, you couldn't play them at all. He wouldn't drop the number. If you wanted to play them and do a 5v5, they would say no. If you wanted to play them and do a 10v10, they would say no. If you didn't have 15 players, you can shove that CVC up your ass. They're not doing it. And it's very obvious, right, as to why they wanted to do 15v15s only. It's because you can't keep score. When you play all weapon free mode CVCs in this game, the only way to keep score is by counting. But when you have 15 players on both sides, that's a 30-player lobby, all killing each other. There's no way in God's green earth that you are going to be able to keep score and figure out which crew won. It's impossible. That's the reason why they CVC'd at base, because then they could go around and they could tell people, yeah, we're undefeated, bruh. We never lost, bruh. No, you definitely have gotten your ass whooped multiple times on this game in 1v1s and tournaments and CVCs. But the reason why you'd only want 15v15 is so that way you could claim to be an undefeated crew, because it's impossible to count 30 players' kills for the next 3 hours. Number 8 is where they stay. I do think they would beat all the crews ahead of them, but Jesus Christ, what an atrocity of a crew. And while we're on it, let's also talk about their recruitment. Jesus Christ, was it easy to get in this goddamn crew. All you had to do was have a YouTube channel with 100 to 1K subscribers and have one montage. I don't even think you actually had to have sub count. Just send your montage to shoot him up, and if he likes it, you're in. And reminder, he's an old head. He doesn't know what good clips look like. It was so insanely easy for anyone to join this crew. If you're a run and gun player, just send him a clip of you killing 2 or 3 players in a row. Boom, you're in. If you were a base player, just hit one keck. Just hit one keck. No one spawn. Boom, you're in. Invited. Amazing. If you were a beach player, show him you sniping one jet or something stupid. Boom, you're in. He had no idea what good clips look like. He had no idea what good players were. Like I said, he only had 2 decent players at the most. It got so bad that their crew leader was known as the MG Man, like a goddamn superhero, the MG Man. He would literally just run around locking onto people, just tapping L2 and relocking on them over and over again. And good luck getting him to fight you without BST. And he really just had no business judging people off of their clips and playstyles when his was so outdated that it didn't work anymore. He literally had BST addiction. He should be in rehab for BST. Like, Jesus Christ. And let's talk about that thick-ass reticle on his gun. All right, at this point, we're not even talking about the crew anymore. Let's just go to the next up. We have the community punching bag, Trillis Cartel. Do you guys remember this crew? Who did not beat this crew in 2016? This crew was literally on the game every single session you joined, and their members were getting mopped. And then let's talk about their leader getting destroyed by every single YouTuber that he went against. Oh my Jesus Christ. They would walk around with their little blue t-shirts on and their fucking Tumblr girl picture crew emblem on their t-shirt. They thought they were the hottest shit. They used to have all the best modded accounts on the game, and they would get destroyed on all of them. How do you have the best accounts in GTA Online and lose on them every day over and over and over? And they would have matching names like Trillis Captain, Trillis Commander, Trillis Lieutenant. It didn't really matter what rank they were because they were all dog shit. Any regular grinder player could beat these people. The amount of times that we destroyed them was unbelievable. And that's just us. Every single crew in 2016. Hell no, not even every crew. Every damn player in 2016 beat this crew. If you guys don't know these guys, you might recognize them by their tag. Best BEST. I do think that they made the community very fun because there was so many of them in the lobby. You would go on killing sprees. It's like they intentionally went and got every single worst player they could find as a tryhard and just threw them in the crew. There was hundreds of these guys. You'd run into them literally everywhere, and every single one of them was worse than the last. You guys know the domino effect? Well, their crew was literally domino piles of shit. Like, it's literally every member in the crew was bad. If you look up Trillis Cartel or you look up best crew, you will see nothing but RIP, 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 RIP. Just absolutely destroyed. This is the wet blunt of the community, just passed around to every single player. Trillis tried to come back, but nobody was rocking with him anymore. He did the same thing that Shoot 'em Up was doing, wearing old ass clothes and playing the game like it's 2013. Everyone could tell that his skill was not up to par compared to everybody else, and then he disappeared and was never heard from again. And his crew, I'm pretty sure, got deleted. In the making of this video, I couldn't find it. It's gone. And now we have the bullshit off-brand foo-foo ass fake version of Trillis Cartel, EXES, aka Execution Styles. You guys remember this crew? If you guys played the game at all during 2017, you would have definitely ran into these guys, as they were literally the bootleg version of Trillis Cartel. It was insanely easy to get in this crew. Almost every single player that they had was completely washed. They would lose consistently nonstop. They avoided CVCs like it was a plague because they knew they were going to get uploaded. There was no chance of them ever winning. And unlike Trillis Cartel, who was at least making some form of money because their leader had a YouTube channel that was monetized and he would live stream, these guys were literally just everywhere getting their asses whooped for $0.00. If you're going to get bodied every single day on the game and tossed around like a rag doll, at least make some money while doing it. These guys also had hundreds of members, all washed, all terrible players. It was super easy to get in this crew. I had met players that were brand new to the game. Halloween came around, they got a face paint, and then boom, they're an EXES member. Just that easy. Now, this crew, I'm pretty sure, ended up being hacked or sold. I'm not really sure. I think it was hacked. But if you played back in 2016, 2017, these guys were like an infestation in every single lobby that you went into, and they were all absolutely horrible. They were basically a lower version of Trillis Cartel. If Trillis Cartel is Oreos, these kids are Dorios. If Trillis Cartel was Kellogg's, these kids are Schmellogs. Like, these guys were just literally the great value off-brand ass version that sits on a shelf somewhere in a superstore that nobody would pick up. This is literally the off-brand Trillis Cartel. I had to include them here. If you're a 2016 player, you know this crew. Now let's go next on the list. OTGX, RNGK, Full X, 1PSY, RFKZ, Texas? This crew is the prime example of when your mom says that you have RNGK at home. Let's start with the fact that these guys lost almost damn near every CVC that they were ever in, along with every tournament that they ever participated in. They were never taken serious in the competitive side. In fact, if you watch any Feng Shui video or hell, any run and gun YouTuber, really, you will never hear these guys mentioned. But they were known. They were known for losing. Players like Demon from Texas and American Rifles really carried the crew, and they were nothing special. They got completely outshined by pretty much every single run and gun crew imaginable. They had some of the worst players in GTA run and gun for their lineup. All their run and gun players were absolutely brain dead, just absolutely horrific. It makes you wonder where they even found their CVC lineup in the first place. Their crew was complete dog shit. It was extremely easy to get in. It required damn near no skill whatsoever to get an invite to this crew. There was players that were brand new to running on getting invited to this crew, but it wasn't a community crew. It was a legitimate competitive crew that just so happened to lose every single time that they played. And then that doesn't even cover on the rest. There are some other things like the fact that they would lurk on female members. They would invite women to this crew, and then all the leaders and higher ups of the crew would try to hook up with girls over the video game. Just an absolute shame of a crew, just embarrassing entirely. I'm not sure if the crew is still around, and even if it was, I really don't think anybody would care. All the other run and gun crews went on to greatness to have some of the best players of all time, and these guys, I don't know what the hell happened. But yes, number 5 definitely goes to Texas Massacre. You guys have probably never even heard of this crew before, and I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. But if you're a run and gun player, you know this crew. You know that they weren't anything special, and you know that they fell off extremely hard. It's our CVC unit, bro. We have a CVC unit. You don't want to play with our CVC unit. We're the best crew on Xbox, yo. Don't mess with our CVC unit. Oh shit, is that Recoil? Next up, we have OpXV's crew, Ops. What happens when you play on a console that has no good players and you play in an area that nobody plays? You get Ops crew. This is the perfect crew for the example of all bark and no bite. They would run their mouth on TikTok. They would run their mouth on YouTube and GTA. But anytime they would get called out by a real player, a real crew, someone that they know would beat their ass, they would turn the other way and run. There was a time when their crew leader was beefing with the leader of REDX. If you guys saw my last video, you guys already know Recoil. And he was talking insanely tough because he knew that Recoil was a PlayStation player and GTA is not crossplay. So he didn't have to worry about Recoil coming and beating him and making him look stupid in front of everybody. So he was calling Recoil dog shit, saying that he sucked, that he was garbage, that if he came to PlayStation, he would run it, etc., etc. So guess what? Recoil bought an Xbox and then started a live stream. And as soon as he started the live stream, OpXV and his crew disappeared off the fucking map. Where did y'all go? You guys were talking so tough. They had so much to say, thinking, damn, he ain't about to go buy a $600 console to come beat my ass. But he did. And then let's talk about them losing to Low-Key X. Low-Key X. Really? The content creator, the live streamer that doesn't take the game serious? Low-Key X has 1v1'd me and multiple of my crew members before. And he's never won. Now, he did beat one of my city players at Beach, but that was when he stopped playing the game. And my city player had already beaten him in other areas before they went to Beach. How the hell do you lose to Low-Key X and claim to be the #1 most feared crew, quote unquote? These guys are so cringe. They literally go on TikTok and dance around and emote like it's Fortnite with goth music playing in the background, and they think they are the hottest shit, calling themselves the #1 crew. They've never even went in a tournament. They've never been in a tournament. They've never played a top crew. They play an area that nobody plays. Then claimed that they were coming to PlayStation to take over, and their leader just disappeared. Where the hell did he go? Their crew leader and their crew members would talk tough, but anytime that it was really about to go down, they would disappear and go completely ghost from the community. Their crew leader has not uploaded in almost a year. He literally disappeared after he got bitched by Recoil. Then I heard rumors that he was claiming he was going to come to PlayStation and take over. Bitch, I'd like to see that. I would love to see that. If this crew were to ever come to PlayStation, they would get tossed and turned by so many crews, and me and my members would be standing here waiting at the front of the line to play them. How does this guy have subscribers? How do people think this is a good crew? TikTok. That's how. The magic of TikTok. You dance around with a bulletproof helmet on for a couple of minutes with some gothic emo music playing in the background, and every griefer and grinder shits their pants thinking that you can actually play when you can't. What happens when you lose to every single YouTuber, content creator, live streamer, and just overall influencer in GTA Online, and then attempt to make your own tryhard crew and go into the competitive scene? I think you know the answer. We have Zevexity X Reborn, aka ZevX. Boy, Jesus. I don't think. I'm 99.9% positive that the crew leader of this crew is the most uploaded player in GTA Online history. Every YouTuber you can possibly think of has uploaded the leader to this crew. For those of you guys that don't know the leader, Herbie J3. He was on my channel, Shoot 'em Up's channel, Mopmus's channel, Putter's channel, Powerpuff Girls channel, Psychopath Steven's channel, Trilla's Games channel, OP Nightwing's channel. I could keep going, but I'm going to run out of breath. I have asthma. Jesus Christ. How many times do you have to get uploaded? They tried to become a real serious base crew, and they were the laughing stock of the community. Hell, even their crew emblem was just a fake emblem of REDX. It's just a knockoff version. It's literally the great value green version of REDX's red triangular emblem. Everything about this crew was a damn shame. I'm pretty sure that there's only one player in it now, and that is Herbie, because all the other members got kicked out for being bad. You know, when a bad player kicks you out for being bad, The crew itself is all spoiled. They're all rotten. There's no way that this crew is making a top 10 unless it's in the worst category. Now let's talk about their obsessive and disgusting clout chasing. They were known for completely photoshopping messages, for lying completely on scores, fake uploading crews, knowing damn well that they lost. They would fake upload YouTubers. They fake uploaded everyone. They would pretend to have scores on players that they never had. They would lose on live streams and still upload a video saying that they won. This crew goes down in the toilet of shame. They are probably the #1 fake uploading crew to ever exist in GTA Online. And it all got influenced by their crew leader, Herbie, who still fake uploads to this day. Xbox, PlayStation, PC, you name it, they've lost on it. On number 2, we have Kexi. Jesus Christ, I don't think one crew has lost so many times on so many different platforms. These guys are known for making TikToks and dancing around with the Rockstar edits, acting like badasses with some music playing in the background. But if you've ever actually went against them, or if you've ever actually seen people go against them, they are one of the worst crews to ever happen in the game. Now, Trillis Cartel and crews like EXES may have gotten destroyed, but at least they got destroyed on one console. Kexi was losing on every single platform imaginable, from Xbox to PlayStation to PC. Hell, if GTA was on Nintendo Switch, they would have lost there too. This has to be one of the most uploaded crews in GTA Online, and they're new. They're not even old. How the hell do you get uploaded over 500 times in a year? That's almost world record breaking. They have bottom of the barrel players. They make really cringy TikToks and they try to act like badasses. They call out PlayStation crews that they know for a fact they would lose to, but they do it all in the name of views and clout and attention. They call themselves the #1 GTA crew and the best GTA crew, and they lose to players that don't even play the PvP of the game. This crew is just a TikTok trend. They're not serious about the competitive side of the game. They're not serious about being good at the game. Even their 2 leaders are absolutely terrible. Optic Kings and Vexism. I don't even know how the hell to say his name. He's a knockoff version of me. He's just a fake Vex. It's a fake Vex. You got a fake Vex and you got a fake OpXV, because let's be honest, Optic King is literally just a fake OpXV. I'm sure that at some point they will probably respond to this video with one of their shitty ass TikToks dancing around and emoting with their crew members in the background with joggers on, but they're not going to come play us. They will not come and play us. Look up their crew tag, Kexi, Kexi, to see the holy grail of GTA RIPs and uploads. All right, now for this one, I want everyone to close their eyes and just imagine. I want you to go deep into your imagination. Now imagine that you claim to be the #1 GTA tryhard of the game. And imagine that you claim to be the best crew on the game, but the only players that you kill are noobs. You kill noobs. On #1 worst tryhard crew in GTA Online, we have most hated griefers, and Jesus Christ, I don't even want to count them as a tryhard, but I'm going to anyway for the sake of this video. Let me establish something. Tryhards and griefers are 2 different things. Tryhards like competitive play. They go against players that are going to give them a challenge. They participate in CVCs, maybe the potential tournament. They like to 1v1 in real areas with actual rule sets. Now let's cover griefers. They will go after any player from level 1 to level 10 to level 100. It doesn't matter. Whoever has the lowest KD and whoever looks like they are the easiest target is who they're going to go for. They usually target live streamers, YouTubers, and content creators to get reactions because they're trolls. That's what they are. It was so unbelievably cringe watching this crew wear blacked out versions of the professional's outfit and go around killing them. Leave the grinder people alone. This is why players don't like tryhards. This is why the professional doesn't like tryhards. Tryhards have nothing to do with this. This is a griefer crew. You would never see top players like Recoil, I Scoped You, Sinkable, hell, even me going after these players. You would never see that happen. Most hated griefers are not skilled at the game at all. If they were skilled at the game, they would go after good players, but they don't. They call themselves number one. They say that they're the best. Obviously, they don't mean it. They're probably trolling. But people like this are the reason why the tryhard community gets so much hate without people even learning anything about it first. I've had so many people tell me GTA doesn't take skill. GTA is toxic. GTA could never be an esports game. All GTA is Mark II oppressors and tanks and people in God mode. No, it's not. It's crews like this. If you look at the top 10 best crews of all time list that I made, all the crews in that list play good players. They don't target grinders. They have better things to do. You want to go and grind a heist for 10 hours straight and waste your life? You go do that. We're not going to do that. This is the reason why every average tryhard or even content creators, hell, for example, Shoot 'em Up. Shoot 'em Up and the professional got into drama with each other because the professional started saying GTA Online doesn't take skill, that tryhards ruin the game, that anyone who thinks they're good at the game is delusional, that it's not a PvP game. Well, first off, it is a PvP game. It's a sandbox game. This game is not about making money. This game is not about heists. This game is not about cars. It's not even about PvP. It's a sandbox game. It's about whatever you want it to be. GTA Online does not have a specific thing that it's about. If it was about making money, then Heist would have been released with the game when it fucking came out. But it didn't, did it? If it was about cars, then why the hell is there still no nitrous in these cars? There's still no NOS in these cars. If it was about PvP, then why is there no esports? GTA is not about anything. It's whatever you make it. Therefore, if we want to do PvP, that is our right. If you want to grind, that is your right. The problem is that the griefers are the ones that come in between us and cause drama and arguments. And then you have people like the professional who hate on PvP players who've never done anything to him or his community. Most hated griefers has to be number one. Their members suck. Their players suck. They've never been in a tournament. They've never done a CVC. They've gotten beaten by every tryhard that's ever played them. Sometimes they lose to grinders. How the hell are you a full-time PvP player and you're losing to someone that drives cargo around the map all day? They wear full bulletproof helmets. They use BST. They go under the map. They use God mode, jets, tanks, anything they can to win and still get fucked up by grinders. How? And if you've seen how grinders play, no decent player would get killed by it. There are grinders that fly around in Starlings. There are grinders that go around in anti-aircraft guns. That stuff would not work on real players in this game. Real tryhard players. It might work on the griefers because the griefers don't have to be skilled. They're targeting grinders. But they make us look bad at the end of the day because then you have grinders saying the game doesn't take skill because they can kill griefers with ease. These griefers are not representative of what the really good top tier professional level players are like, but they represent us regardless because they are a part of the PvP community. They are number one. Tell me what you guys think. So now that we're on to dishonorable mentions, the first one that I'm going to name is DEVX. Now, I'm going to let you guys know right now that even though I don't consider DEVX to be a top 10 best crew, I don't consider them to be a top 10 worst crew either. I don't think they deserve to be that low. I don't think that they're an absolute garbage crew. I don't think that they're a top 10 best of all time, but that also doesn't mean that I think that they suck so bad they should be top 10 worst. But I knew that someone in the comment section was going to be like, where's DEVX? I don't think they're a top 10 crew. Be realistic, guys. Next up, we have VENX, aka V Animated Empire. I could actually see the argument for this being one of the worst crews in GTA Online, as it had a very short run, and the run that it did have, V Animated basically just recruited a bunch of random run and gun players and random beats players that really weren't all that great at the game. Then I don't even think they did any CVCs, and if they did, they most likely lost. And then once V Animated lost to RSMY on live stream, the crew seemed to just disappear and was never talked about again. It seems like they had like probably the shortest run in GTA crew history. I don't even know if the crew is still around anymore, but I don't think that they should be a top 10 worst, but I do think that they should be a mention as one of the worst. They didn't fail enough for them to be considered a top 10 worst. Next up, we have Soup. This crew right here went from a bunch of really terrible bass players, like people that wanted to join REDX but couldn't, people that wanted to join Heavy X but couldn't, And then they proceeded to just start booting people offline, stealing accounts, hacking into social clubs, banning Instagram accounts, and just being overall weird and just taking it completely out of the game because they couldn't win on the game, which I thought was pretty corny. They were also known for being fake uploaders. Well, at least one of them was. I don't know about the rest, but the crew itself really was never anything special. They would lose to the top crews of the game all the time, and now they're just around being weird and toxic. Next up, we have NatX. NatX is not a good crew. I have a live stream actually where we beat them 10-1 after I stopped playing GTA for literally months in a CVC. The problem with NatX is that they have huge egos and they like to do weird things to people just like Soup does because they can't actually win. Most players that do something weird or something off the game to get back at someone that beat them are usually the players that are really, really trash at the game and can't actually win through skill alone. So they go through with other methods to get their win back. Yeah, NatX definitely deserves to be in the dishonorable mentions. I could definitely see you putting them in the top 10 worst and swapping out almost any crew in the list for them if you wanted to, but just an overall very weird crew that I don't think is a good crew. Next up in dishonorable mentions, we have ATAX. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't even know this crew, but similar to Most Hated Griefers, or L's as their crew tag called, ATAX was basically another griefer crew, but ATA, the best, which was their leader, he was recruiting players that kind of played comp. Like they weren't the best, they really weren't all that great, but he was recruiting players for beach and run and gun and this and that. But ATA is a griefer, so I don't really know what his plans were with the crew to be recruiting players that play competitive areas if he wanted them to just go and grief noobs. ATAX is a troll and a griefer, and it seems like he's never actually taken the game serious. So it was just a bit odd for him to make his own crew knowing that he wasn't going to take care of it. I don't even know where the crew is now. It had a very short life cycle, just like V Animated Empire. I don't know if ATAX is still around, but the time that it was around, their members were not very good. And ATAX just cannot be a competitive crew leader as he spends way too much time killing noobs and making random rant videos on his channel. So yeah, they could definitely be in the top 10, but I put them at dishonorable mentions instead. Next up, we have 911X. The problem with 911X is that there was 666X, there was REDX, RAWX, and just better crews in general. And the problem with 911X as well is that there has been so many different 911X crews at this point that people don't really know who the real one actually was. I'm pretty sure the crew leader for this crew was named Swaggo Burrell, as he was uploaded a lot in 2016, 2017 by Shoot 'em Up. 911X was uploaded by YouTubers like Mixed Panda, Mopmas, and etc. Then another bad player by the name of Guess My Spawn came in and tried to take over leadership, but I'm pretty sure that the 911X that he had was fake. There's really no, this is the real 911X. Like, we don't know. But what I do know is that it seems like it's a curse among the community that whoever has 911X tag just loses all the time. So if you guys are thinking of making your own crew, avoid the tag 911X if you want to actually win. And last in dishonorable mentions, we have any 1-0 crew. Now, I'm not going to sit here and specify, but you guys know the crews I'm talking about. Crews like X Era, Dead, DEVX, and etc. I think 1-0ing is a joke. It has always been a joke. It's what ruined the community. It takes no skill at all. It's extremely boring. Your montages are cringy. People don't even watch your actual videos when you upload them. They literally go in your comments, type in, good shit, check recent, and then click off. No one cares that you killed someone with an orbital cannon. No one cares that you killed someone in God mode. People are not going to watch it. People are not going to support it. They don't actually care. If anything, all you're doing is making yourself look worse than the player that you uploaded, and I think it's really cringy fad that needs to die out. By GTA 6, if there is still 1-0 players on this game, then I just don't know what to tell you.